The boy who thought he had nothing. The village of Norabad was a place where everyone knew everyone. It was surrounded by golden fields, tall trees, and a small river that flowed peacefully beside the houses. Every morning, the sound of birds filled the air, children ran through the narrow streets, and the elderly sat outside their homes sharing stories of the past. To many people, Norabad was a simple village. But to Adam, it felt like a place where dreams disappeared. Adam was 20 years old. He lived with his mother in a small, old house at the edge of the village. Their home was not beautiful like the houses of wealthy families, but it was filled with love, prayers, and memories. His father had passed away when Adam was only 12 years old. Since then, life had become difficult. His mother worked hard to support them. She would wake before sunrise, prepare food, take care of their small home, and sometimes sew clothes for neighbors to earn extra money. Adam watched her struggle every day. And every night, he made the same prayer. Ya Allah, please give my mother an easier life. She deserves happiness after everything she has done for me. But despite his prayers, Adam often felt lost. He wanted to help his mother. He wanted to change their situation. But he believed he had nothing special. He was not the richest person in the village. He was not the smartest student. He did not have a powerful family name. He did not own a business. Whenever he compared himself to others, his heart became heavy. There was a young man named Kareem in the village who owned a successful shop. Everyone admired him. Look at Kareem, people would say. He is young, but he has already built a great future. Adam would hear those words and quietly look away. What about me? He would think. What have I achieved? One evening, Adam sat outside his house while watching the sunset. His mother came and sat beside him. You are quiet today, she said gently. Adam forced a smile. I'm fine, mother. His mother looked at him carefully. She knew when her son was hiding his sadness. Adam, tell me what is in your heart. He looked down. Mother, do you ever feel like you are not enough? His mother's expression softened. Why would you think that? Because I see other people. They have money, success, respect. They can help their families. But I feel like I have nothing. His mother smiled and held his hand. My son, never say you have nothing. Adam looked at her. Allah has given every person something valuable. Sometimes a person has money but no kindness. Sometimes a person has power but no mercy. Sometimes a person has little in this world but a heart that is loved by Allah. Adam listened silently. His mother continued, do not measure yourself by what people can see. Allah sees what is hidden. Those words stayed in his heart. But still, Adam struggled. The next morning, he went to the village market looking for work. The market was always busy. Shopkeepers shouted prices, customers moved between stalls, and the smell of fresh bread filled the air. Adam approached several shop owners. Assalamu alaikum, are you looking for someone to help? Some smiled politely. No, son, we already have enough workers. Others simply ignored him. After hours of searching, Adam sat near a wall, tired and disappointed. He watched people walking by. A wealthy man passed in expensive clothes. A businessman drove by in a beautiful carriage. Children followed their parents happily. Everyone seemed to have a place in this world. Except him. Adam whispered, Ya Allah, I want to be useful. I want my life to have meaning. That evening, while returning home, he saw something that changed his life forever. Near an old tree beside the road, an elderly man was sitting alone. The man looked exhausted. His clothes were simple. His face showed signs of hardship. People walked past him. Some noticed him, but no one stopped. Adam slowed down. He looked at the old man. Then he looked at the small bag in his hand. Inside was the only food he had bought for himself that day. A piece of bread and some dates. It was not much. In fact, it was barely enough for his own dinner. For a moment, Adam hesitated. His stomach was empty. He had spent the whole day searching for work. He needed this food, but then he remembered his mother's words. Allah has given every person something valuable. Adam looked at the old man again. Maybe he did not have money. Maybe he did not have power. Maybe he could not solve every problem in the world. But he had something, a small kindness. He walked toward the man. Assalamu alaikum. The old man looked up. Wa alaikum assalam, my son. Adam smiled. Are you hungry? The old man's eyes lowered. I have not eaten since morning. Adam opened his bag and gave him the food. The old man looked surprised. No, my son. You keep it. You also need it. Adam shook his head. Please accept it. It is small, but I hope it helps. The old man's eyes filled with tears. May Allah bless you. Adam smiled. Amin. He walked away feeling hungry. But strangely, his heart felt lighter than it had in a long time. That night, Adam ate only a little food from home. His mother noticed. You gave your dinner away, didn't you? Adam looked surprised. How did you know? His mother smiled. A mother's heart knows. Adam lowered his head. I just felt he needed it more. His mother placed her hand on his shoulder. Remember this moment, Adam. Sometimes the smallest deeds are the ones that Allah loves the most. Adam went to sleep that night without knowing. That one small act of kindness would become the beginning of a journey that would change not only his life, but the lives of many others. Because sometimes, the person who thinks he has nothing to give, is the person who has the most valuable gift of all. Adam woke before dawn to the familiar sound of the adhan echoing across Norbad. The cool morning breeze drifted through the small window of his room. For a few moments, he lay still, remembering the elderly man he had met the previous evening. The old man's grateful smile lingered in his mind. May Allah bless you. It was such a simple dua. Yet somehow, those words had settled deep inside Adam's heart. After praying Fajr with his mother, he quietly prepared to leave for another day of searching for work. As he reached the door, his mother called after him. Adam. He turned. No act of kindness is ever lost with Allah. He smiled gently. Insha'Allah. The market was as crowded as ever. Merchants arranged colorful fruits, baskets overflowed with vegetables, and the smell of fresh bread tempted everyone who passed by. Adam spent hours asking for work. Again, and again, every answer was the same. We're sorry. We already have enough workers. Maybe next month. By midday, the sun burned overhead. His feet ached. His stomach growled. He had earned nothing. For a moment, hopelessness returned. Maybe I'm not meant to succeed. Just then, he noticed an elderly woman struggling to carry 2 heavy bags. People walked around her without stopping. Adam immediately rushed over. Assalamu alaikum, mother. May I help you? She smiled with relief. Wa alaikum assalam. My son, these bags have become too heavy for me. Without hesitation, Adam lifted both bags. She led him through several narrow streets until they reached a modest little house. When they arrived, she smiled warmly. May Allah reward you. Adam simply nodded. It was nothing. The woman looked at him carefully. No, my son. She pointed toward the sky. In Allah's sight, kindness is never, nothing. Those words reminded him of his own mother. As Adam walked away, he felt something changing inside him. He still had no job. He still had very little money. But for the first time in months, he didn't feel completely useless. Days passed. Adam continued searching for work every morning. Whenever he met someone in need, he tried to help. Sometimes he carried water for an elderly neighbor. Sometimes he repaired a broken fence. Sometimes he helped children cross the muddy road after rain. No one paid him. Most people barely remembered his name. But every night, his heart felt a little lighter. Meanwhile, the elderly man Adam had fed beneath the tree thought about him constantly. His name was Yusuf. Years earlier, Yusuf had been one of the most respected teachers in the region. People traveled from distant villages just to learn from him. He taught children to read. He taught young men honesty. He reminded families about mercy and patience. But life had tested him severely. His wife had passed away. His only son had moved far away and rarely visited. Slowly, loneliness replaced hope. Yusuf stopped teaching. He stopped visiting people. He began believing that perhaps no one cared anymore. Then one evening, a poor young stranger had given away his only meal. Not because anyone was watching. Not for praise. Simply because he saw someone hungry. Yusuf whispered to himself, perhaps goodness has not disappeared after all. For the first time in many months, he smiled. The following Friday, Yusuf returned to the village mosque. Many people looked surprised. It's teacher Yusuf. We haven't seen him in almost a year. After Jumu'ah prayer, several young boys gathered around him. Teacher, will you teach us again? Yusuf looked into their hopeful faces. His heart softened. Maybe, just maybe, Allah still had work for him. That evening, Adam sat beside the river after another unsuccessful day. The orange sky reflected across the calm water. He picked up a small stone and tossed it into the river. Ripples spread across the surface. One small stone. Many circles. He watched carefully. A quiet thought entered his mind. Maybe kindness is like this. One small act. That reaches farther than we can ever see. He smiled without realizing it. The next morning, as Adam walked through the village, Someone called his name. Adam. He turned around. It was Kareem, the wealthy shop owner whom everyone admired. Kareem looked worried. My worker is sick today. I have many deliveries to make. Would you be willing to help me? Adam's eyes widened. Of course, for the first time in weeks. Someone had trusted him. Kareem handed him several packages. If you work hard today, I'll pay you before sunset. Adam thanked Allah silently. As he carried the first delivery through the village streets, he had no idea that this ordinary day would lead him toward a meeting that would completely change the direction of his life. Adam carried Kareem's packages from one end of Nourabad to the other. He worked with honesty, greeted everyone with a smile, and never complained, even under the hot afternoon sun. When the day ended, Kareem counted the money Adam had earned and handed it to him. You worked harder than I expected, Kareem said with a smile. If you want, you can work with me every day. For a moment, Adam couldn't speak. After weeks of searching and countless rejections, Allah had finally opened a door. He looked toward the sky and whispered, Alhamdulillah. On his way home, Adam bought fresh bread, vegetables, and a little honey. It wasn't much, but it was enough to surprise his mother. When she saw the food, tears filled her eyes. You found work. Adam nodded happily. Yes, mother. Allah answered our dua. His mother smiled. No, my son. Allah was always listening. Sometimes he delays an answer because he is preparing something even better. That night, for the first time in many months, they ate together without worrying about the next day's meal. The following Friday, Adam went to the mosque early. After the prayer, an elderly man approached him. It was Yusuf, the young man under the tree, Yusuf said with a gentle smile. Adam recognized him immediately. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam. Yusuf held Adam's hands. I have been looking for you. Adam looked surprised. For me? Yes. I wanted to thank the young man who reminded an old teacher that goodness still exists. Adam lowered his head. I only shared a little food. Yusuf smiled. No, you shared hope. Yusuf told Adam about his life, his years as a teacher, and how loneliness had made him lose hope. Your kindness woke my heart again, he said. I've started teaching children once more. Adam's eyes widened. Really? Yusuf nodded. And I want you to help me. Me? Yes. You don't need wealth to inspire people. You only need sincerity. From that day onward, Adam worked at Kareem's shop during the day and spent his evenings helping Yusuf teach children. Some children were poor. Some had lost their parents. Some struggled to read. Adam treated every one of them with patience. He encouraged them whenever they wanted to give up. He remembered how hopeless he had once felt. Years passed. The children grew into honest young men and women. Many became teachers. Some became doctors. Some became business owners. Others simply became kind neighbors who always helped those in need. Whenever someone asked where they had learned compassion, they all gave the same answer. Teacher Yusuf and brother Adam. One afternoon, many years later, Adam sat beneath the same old tree where he had once met Yusuf. This time, he was no longer the poor young man who believed he had nothing. He had a loving family, a stable livelihood, the respect of his village. But the thing he treasured most was not his success. It was the knowledge that Allah had allowed one small act of kindness to become the beginning of countless other good deeds. As he watched children laughing nearby, a little boy walked over with a piece of bread. Sir, the boy asked, may I give this to the hungry traveler over there? Adam smiled. His eyes became wet. Yes, my son, go. The little boy ran happily toward the traveler. Adam watched quietly as the traveler accepted the bread with tears in his eyes. In that moment, Adam understood. Kindness never truly ends. It moves from one heart to another. One person inspires another. One good deed creates another. Like ripples spreading across a calm river. He raised his hands toward the sky and whispered, Ya Allah, accept every small deed we do for your sake, forgive our shortcomings, and make us among those who bring benefit to others. Ameen. Before Adam passed away many years later, the children he had taught gathered around him. One of them asked, Teacher, what is the greatest lesson you ever learned? Adam smiled gently. The world teaches you to become rich. But Islam teaches you to become beneficial. Money can disappear. Fame can fade. But a sincere deed done for the sake of Allah lives on long after we are gone. He closed his eyes with peace in his heart, knowing that the smallest act of kindness he had once thought was insignificant had changed countless lives by the permission of Allah. The Prophet Muhammad said, the most beloved people to Allah are those who are most beneficial to people. May Allah make us among those who benefit others with our words, actions, and sincere hearts.